Hello, and welcome to another episode of This, That, and the Other. It has been a while since I've done a show, as I've been pretty busy with other things, haven't had time to do it. But I have a little notebook, and I have a list of shows I want to do in the future. And I put this together quite a while back, and I have crossed some things off on the list and done some. I've skipped over some that would involve more research, or also not skip them because another subject has come up and I've decided, to address that one immediately. Well, right now I want to try to go down the list and just get done what's on the list and go from there. Hopefully I can get that done. And I saw the next thing on the list was the history of the drug chains Katz Drug. Like I've said before, this show is mainly about preserving history. Well, I remember Katz Drug Store. When I was growing up, we lived in the St. Louis area for about a little over a year, 1969 to 1970. I remember in St. Charles there was a drugstore called Katz, K-A-T-Z. It had a picture of a cat with a bow tie. Big. The stores were big. I don't remember a whole lot of what they sold, but I just remember the stores being big, and we lived there just for that short period of time. That Katz was founded in Kansas City and was all over at least the state of Missouri. I would imagine they were probably in some of the other western states as well. Probably Kansas, I would imagine, because Kansas is very close to Kansas City. But anyway, I wanted to show you a couple of images of what the logo looked like, and an image of a store. I'm going to try to get this next to the camera, smartphone camera, the best I can, so you can get an idea of what it looked like. I got these images off of the internet. I wasn't able to find a whole lot of information on Katz Drug Store on Wikipedia, but I did get some things. Here's the Katz logo right here. Closer view of the face of the cat. You get the cat with the bow tie, and it's like holding this piece of paper next to a mirror. The writing unfortunately is backwards. And I have another image of a Katz Drug Store, probably taken in the 1950s, judging by the cars in the parking lot. But you can see how big that building is. Kind of looks like the St. Louis or the St. Charles location. I don't think it was, but I don't know where this location was. But little background information on Katz Drug Stores. They were founded in Kansas City in 1914 by Michael and Isaac Katz, the son of Ukrainian immigrants. They were known as Ike and Mike. It makes me wonder sometimes if that has anything to do with the name of the candy, Mike and Ike candies. That would be another story for another show, maybe another idea. And they sold items unusual, what you would see in drugstores, like fishing items. They sold pets. They had huge soda fountains, and they were known for discounting pricing and having salespeople in every department. The size of the store kind of reminds me of the Dart Drugs that I saw when we came to Northern Virginia in 1976. Not the Katz Drug Stores, from what I remember, are nicer looking stores. Dart had, besides being a drugstore, it also carried a lot of home improvement stuff, automotive stuff, that kind of stuff. It was kind of like a drugstore / home improvement store. The Katz Drug grew to 65 stores and employed 3,000 people. It merged, at least building in Kansas City, the Argyle building that had a lot of doctors' offices in it. In 1917, during World War I, the government mandated that only critical businesses could be opened after 6 p.m. Critical businesses like pharmacies, where people need prescriptions. So Katz decided to hire some pharmacists and stock their shelves with drug items to get around that. And then people went to the doctors in that building where the Katz Drug Store was, and the pharmacists would send their prescriptions to the patients to Katz Drug Store. Katz flourished during the Depression and had some grand openings, opened new stores. In 19 1971, Skaggs Drug Company acquired Katz, which later merged with Osco. I remember seeing those stores, Osco Drug in Illinois and Chicago area, and Osco eventually merged with CVS. It seems like CVS and Rite Aid have taken over a lot of drug chains. I know CVS took over Drug Emporium and Revco, and Rite Aid's taken over Eckerd, and there have been a number of other acquisitions that I can't even think of right now off the top of my head. You got the three big drug chains now are CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. A book was published about the drug chain called The Kings of Cut Rate, The Very American Story of Michael and Isaac Katz. And that was published, I guess, this past year, 2014. The business started in 1914, so if the business had, we're still around today, it would be 100 years old. But I just thought I'd give a little background information, what I was able to find on the history of Katz Drug, which wasn't a whole lot, but it, like I've been saying before, this show is about preserving history, and like I mentioned also, I live in the Northern Virginia area, and I have only to date done one interview. I would like to do more interviews. Anybody that has an interesting subject that they would like to have me interview them about, I can meet them somewhere in the area and set something up. What I do basically is find out what I would be interviewing them on, and then I put together a list of questions, and I'll email what the questions are going to be, and so the person can look at them and get an idea of how they want to answer them, or let me know if there's a question that they don't want to answer, which is no problem for me. Whatever they're comfortable with. And I know I interviewed the lady that owned the movie theater in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, and she actually added some additional stuff after the questions. Very interesting interview, and the interview took about 50 to 55 minutes by the time it was done, but it was a good interview, and I want to get more of those interviews done. And as always, thanks for watching.